Welcome back, fans.
Welcome
It's
back
been a whole...
to the show.
How long's it been? Did you look at when our last video was?
No.
Our last podcast?
More than a year, right?
And what? This is episode 7, 8?
We made it to episode 5.
Oh, so this is episode 6?
Yep.
Oh.
This is our sixth episode.
Our 6th episode in 3 years. So we're averaging 2 a year. We're killing it.
Yeah. These take a lot of effort. We got to talk for like half an hour or more. That's.
I was about to say, this is a lot of effort
That's
for
hard.
you, because all I have to do is talk for 30 minutes and then magically it shows up on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. It is magic. Movie magic.
I'd like the viewers to know that I'm drinking out of my bunny mug. Blackberry citrus tea. And my bunny mug has a lid on it with his bunny ears.
Very important, Brailee. But we're not here to talk about bunnies, are we?
Are there bunnies in Dune 2?
No, there's mice.
Little desert mice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little desert
So then
mouses.
no, we are not here to talk about bunnies. We are here to talk about desert mice. And sandworms.
Madiba.
And
Yeah.
blue sandworm poison? I am confused.
Blue sandworm poison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder what part of that the worm is. Is that his blood? I don't know.
I don't know. Someone made a joke about it being pee.
Pee-pee, yeah. In poor taste. That's a religious thing.
Yes.
But yeah, I just want to talk first. When did you see the first Dune movie, Brailee?
Oh my gosh, forever ago. Not in theaters. I didn't see it until it came out on streaming, and I watched it.
Well,
once.
it came out. It came out on streaming the same time it went to theaters, since it was around COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was at the same
It
time.
released. It released on HBO Max and in theaters at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were doing that a lot.
I do remember that, but I didn't remember this was one of them. Because it took, I just remember it took us forever to watch it. So I thought it was because it wasn't on streaming yet. But I think
No,
it was
you
really
had
because it
no
was
excuse.
a 3-hour movie and I was trying to find the time to watch it. So yeah, I don't remember exactly when I watched it. I did like it though. I remember thinking, this definitely feels like 2.5 hours, but a lot has happened and I'm kind of okay with it.
Mm-hmm. For real. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what got me to read the book, because I thought it was really sick.
Mm-hmm. Have you read all of the books now?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I've read the first 3 out of the 6.
Okay.
Did you know anything about Dune
Not
before
a bit.
the movie?
Nope.
Not a bit?
The only thing I knew was that one of my coworkers really loved the original Dune movie because Sting was in it. That's literally the whole thing I had.
Dune, David Lynch's Dune,
Mm-hmm.
1984. That movie's wild. I like that movie.
Is
but it's
Sting
not very
in a
good.
loincloth at some point?
Yeah, he's in like a futuristic Speedo type getup.
Yes. Because that
But
is
yeah.
what my coworker loved about that movie. That's what I know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Fade Rotha, Austin Butler, didn't get in a loincloth in this movie.
No, he
That'd
was
been
just
sick.
creepy AF.
Yeah. So Brailee, give me your general take on Dune Part 2.
My general take is that I probably should have rewatched Dune Part 1.
That's fair.
But
I agree.
so, but luckily Ty had my back and was like, we're not going to be able to watch it before we go. So I'm going to give you a re-rundown of what went down, which was very helpful because I did not remember any of it.
A little previously on Dune.
So that was good to have. I don't know. It was good. Like, it was good. I'm not a huge, like, I like movies, but for the most part, I can't tell you, like, why I like movies other than, like, the story was good. The characters were really good at acting, like, that type of stuff. As far as, like, the filmography is concerned and all of that, I don't really... I can tell you when a movie is bad and has bad filming, but I can't tell you why. I can just tell you it didn't look good.
Yeah.
So I am
That's
type
fair.
of a movie person. So I did really like Dune. I could tell. Real good filming. Good job.
Beautiful.
And there were a couple of parts that were, I don't know, a little intense. A lot of parts were really intense. But yeah, especially towards the beginning. I don't know. Are you wanting to like walk through some of the stuff?
Yeah, we
like,
could do that.
Timeline wise, yeah, and then I can share my thoughts on certain parts. So.
I really like this movie too. I'm kind of biased though, because I feel like in between Dune 1 and Dune 2, I've become a kind of Dune glutton, you know, as they're called.
They're called what?
A Dune glutton.
A Dune glutton. Okay.
Yeah, but Frank Herbert's Dune is like a masterclass in science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And I refrain from calling like writers like geniuses because I feel like it puts them up on like a pedestal. But like, if anyone's a genius, it's Frank Herbert and his writing. And yeah, I just love like really like intricately designed science fiction worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. And this movie, you got the best working on it. You got Denis Villeneuve, who I think is one of the greatest filmmakers working right now. You got Greg Fraser as the cinematographer, who might be the best cinematographer working right now. He did the Batman, if you've seen that, Brailee.
Robert Pattinson's Batman?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson's Batman.
It was a great movie. I loved it.
Yeah, that movie looks super pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
And also, like, it's dark. I would have liked it to be just a little bit lighter, but it wasn't so dark that I couldn't see things, which was nice.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm really into seeing my movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there for all the cinematographers who are listening to our podcast. Please. I want to see things, even when it's dark.
Yeah. But Dune, yeah. So they really brought Dune to life. And it's good.
They
good
did.
Movie.
Excellent sandworms.
Yeah. So I think just what goes on in this movie?
What doesn't?
We start the movie, and it starts like 5 minutes after the first one, where they have Jamis, and they're taking him back to a Fremen siege and everything.
Yeah. We saw the body, and I was like, what is that? Who is that? I was like, I don't remember.
Honestly, I forgot who it was. I should have watched the first film before I went to see Dune, but I didn't. But I watched the first film the second time I went to see Dune 2.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there's a really cool shot in this first part where the Harkonnens, they start flying onto the top of that rock.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that part?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They just like lift off and the music's all
Mm-hmm.
cool and everything. It looks really cool.
It does look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really cool shots.
And then they take the body back, drain its water.
Mm-hmm.
Water is very culturally relevant to Fremen.
Very much so. Mostly relevant to them not dying in the desert.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it becomes very important when you don't get any of it.
Mm-hmm.
In the later parts of like this is where we like see that how much like the Messiah story has an effect on the Fremen culture as well.
Mm-hmm. The Messiah story and the need for a Reverend Mother.
Yeah, they need a new Reverend Mother because the old one is gonna die soon. Mm-hmm. Did you remember at all from the first film that like Paul had like visions of becoming a leader and everything?
I'm trying to remember if I remember that there were visions of becoming a leader. I don't remember that. I remember that I called the first movie Zendaya's perfume commercial because mostly all of Zendaya's participation in the first movie was like her in Paul's visions in the desert walking around, which is what 95% of perfume commercials are. So
yep.
That's mostly what
comparison.
That's mostly what I remember about his I didn't remember any of his things being about.
Yeah, he's like, they're kind of brief, but like visions of becoming like the leader of the Fremen and enacting a war across the universe and everything.
I did not remember that.
Yeah.
But don't you worry, because they talk about it a lot in the second movie, so you don't really need to remember it.
They sure do. They sure do. Yeah, that's basically the main conflict.
That is like the only thing they talk about in this movie.
Is Paul struggling with the pull to like the dark side, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's very true. It's interesting. Yeah. No, the only thing I'll add, if we're moving on from like kind of that whole section, is the scene where Jessica becomes the Reverend Mother and like takes the poison, and then they have like the scene with the fetus and everything. I was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
And just like from a personal note on how like entertainment and art and stuff can really influence and affect life and everything. Like, I have had a miscarriage, and so seeing that and not knowing what was going to happen to the baby there, I was like a little bit triggered, and it was not something that I expected to happen like in a movie like this. And I was like, if she loses this baby, I might have to walk out of this theater.
Yeah.
Which luckily didn't happen, but yeah. So that was just like an extra layer of something that I was not expecting to be in there. But I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. It's relevant. It's just even though I know it's fake, it still is applicable to an experience that I've had in life that was hard. So it was interesting.
Yeah, you can't fully divorce yourself from fiction. Like, it is supposed to affect you in one way or another. But yeah, Jessica takes the water of life, which is, as they call it in the movie, worm piss. That's what the skeptical Fremen call it.
That is what they call it.
But yeah, it's supposed to, before they like give it to her, they're like, you'll be able to see. They're very vague about it, but it allows you to see like your past, like basically gain an encyclopedic knowledge of your past, and also the past of all your ancestors before you, and all the Reverend Mothers before you. So you become oh so wise. Do you remember how like the women that are administering the water of life react to learning that she's pregnant.
Oh, they were like, what have we done? She's pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know why they were so like upset about that?
Because it can kill you, right? Is that not why they were upset?
No, that's not why they were upset.
Is the Redmond mother not supposed to be pregnant? Is that why they were upset?
Well, yeah, she's not supposed to be pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
but for a better reason than just you're not supposed to be pregnant.
What?
Like,
What reason?
also the water of life will like almost kill you if you're pregnant or not. Like, that's just what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something that they don't like explain at all in the movie, which I thought was kind of a bummer. But the reason like you shouldn't be pregnant and have the water of life is because your baby also gains all the memories of their ancestors.
Mm.
Since the baby hasn't had time to like develop a personality and everything, they risk, once they're born and everything, they risk like the other personalities taking over. Like your former ancestors could basically take over your personality and in essence possess you.
Huh.
That's why they don't like it very much.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was not explained at all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not really important in this movie.
So does she play a bigger role in later books / the story, the sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alia
Yeah.
is her name. I think. Yeah, that's her name. And since she is what's her relation to the Baron? She's the granddaughter.
She'd be a granddaughter, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Since she's the granddaughter of Baron Harkonnen, that becomes a problem since she has all his memories as well.
Okay.
And he is a bit of a dominant personality.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
But he's also dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay.
At the end of this movie.
He definitely is dead at the end of this movie.
And also,
you're just saying it's a problem that she has all of his memories because he is a dominant personality in her mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he's not a very nice guy.
No, he's terrible. He's freaking creepy.
And Alia's actually, she's actually like, I think she's like 4 years old at the end of the Dune book, the first Dune.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it changes a lot. She doesn't get born in this movie.
Yeah.
But she does get born in the book. There's like a 2-year time skip in the book.
But they only did like 6 months in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Paul has a son in the book. And his son dies.
Oh
but
my gosh. A son with Chani?
Uh-huh.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's totally different.
Yeah. It is totally different. But I understand why. It would be a lot to cram in. It'd be a whole lot to cram in.
It'd be like 6 movies.
Yeah. But little like 3 or 4-year-old Alia kills the Baron with a Gom Jabbar, which is the little needle that the witches use to test people.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay.
Then after she becomes the Reverend Mother, a lot of stuff happens. Jessica becomes kind of evil once she gets the Water of Life.
Mm-hmm.
She becomes really hell-bent on getting the Fremen to believe in the prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's like, this is our path. This is the one way to success.
Yep.
And she is kind of right about that. But she is evil.
Yeah. Gets lots of face tats too.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of cultural appropriation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Also in the book, like, she's not nearly as antagonistic. She's much more supportive and, yeah, less proactive,
Okay.
honestly. She's still a really good character in the book.
Do you prefer her book character or her movie character?
Um, I don't know. Honestly, either one has its benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're a big Jessica fan, maybe you're disappointed with the movie because she really does take a 180 once she gets the water of life. I think it's really, really good to the plot and everything, and further solidifies the idea of like how much like the Bene Gesserit have tampered with the Fremen religion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I like the movie one more. I don't know. Paul kind of does some stuff, right, Brailee? he kind of proves his worth to the Fremen.
Mm-hmm.
They take him on little journeys to fight Harkonnen.
Yeah. Little stealth missions.
Yeah.
Take out some things.
Yeah.
Take out some big mining things, right?
Spice mining production.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that's where they run back into Gertie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it Gurney? Gurney Halleck. With an N.
Oh. So it's not Gertie.
No, not Gertie. Yeah, they get back to Gurney Halleck, who was like Paul's kind of mentor in the last movie.
We see him play his little banjo, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He sings and plays his little balisette. Yeah, I was honestly hyped to see that in the movie. Because Gurney Halleck is a lot more funny in the book. He's more funny in like the first half before, all his friends get murdered. But but he's like
but who wouldn't have a bit of a damper on their humor after that happens?
Yeah. He's like a funny bard in the book. And he's also like super ugly. Like he has like scars all over his face and everything. Mm. But in this movie he's played by hot Josh Brolin. So
did you say hot Josh Brolin?
Yeah.
Mr. Hottie Josh Brolin.
Yeah. Everyone in House Atreides is hot.
It's true. I was real sad when Oscar Isaac died.
Yeah. Oscar
that I do
Isaac.
remember from the first movie.
I think the Emperor was just too jealous of
his good looks.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, the good genes that House Atreides has.
He couldn't handle all the hair.
Mm-hmm.
All their luscious flowing locks.
Yeah. The Harkonnens and
also, I was trying to figure out, this is kind of going back to another thing. How old is Jessica supposed to be?
I don't know.
Because in the book, though, isn't Paul younger? Maybe like 15 or 16 in the book?
Yeah, Paul starts the book as 15 and ends at like 17 or 18.
Okay. It just seems like I don't know what age they were going for, and maybe it's just because Timothée Chalamet is older, but like it definitely felt like older. Like he's supposed to be in his 20s.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I feel like they're probably going for like 18 to
18
like
to 20.
20, yeah. Obviously Timothée Chalamet doesn't look like he's 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
obviously
15-year-olds...
Ferguson is...
How old is she?
I want to say maybe her 40s. Maybe
She could have Paul.
maybe 50. I'm looking it up. Because I'm trying to remember, there was something. No, she's 40. Yeah,
She's
she is 40.
She could have Timothy Chalamet.
She could have not Timothy Chalamet. She could have Paul.
Yeah, she could have Paul Timothy Chalamet.
Okay, that was just a curiosity of mine.
Also, like, the spice does help preserve your youth, so.
Is that part of the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spice is an all-in-one drug.
It's a cure-all.
Yeah. It lets you chart your way through intergalactic travel and become young.
Need those fine lines and wrinkles gone? Just be high for the rest of your life.
I see no downsides.
Blue eyes, baby.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. You have luminescent eyes. Paul and the Fremen are messing up spice production.
Yes, they meet back up with Gurney. He plays his little banjo.
Yeah.
Your heart is happy.
I got piss in my steel suit. He says something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Definitely best moment. And we got House Harkonnen are freaking out. Mostly
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, Dave Bautista. He's losing his mind.
I can't remember anybody's character name, but I know all of these people, so I just keep saying their real names.
Yeah. And then Dave Bautista gets kicked off. Spice production.
Bad job.
Yeah. He's not going to be the manager anymore.
Yeah, but before that happens, we meet his freaky little cousin? His cousin or his brother?
His brother.
His brother, right? They're both nephews of the Baron.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude.
And
has
the
some
coolest
issues.
and the coolest scene, I think, in this movie.
That was so disorienting because it wasn't like it was black and white.
No.
What is it?
It's a infrared. It's like when cameras when they're in dark environments, they go to black and white.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and it
Okay.
gives such a cool look where like the blacks are like really dark.
They're so black.
Like in general black and white, like it's black, white, and gray. Like but this is black and white.
Yeah. No, it was super trippy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I completely understand what they were going for, but I was like every single time it came back to them, I was like, I need color. Where's all the color?
But they have this gladiatorial battle, and it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
it
okay,
happens
wait.
outside.
Yeah. So before we go on though, then I have a logistical question. How does that filming work to make it look like that? Are they filming at night in infrared? Because I doubt that's what it is, but is that what it is? Do you know?
I think that there's still lighting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know.
Okay.
I would be talking out of my buttocks if I would go any further.
Okay. I was just curious if you knew. So.
Yeah. I know that the director wanted it to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Greg Fraser, the cinematographer, was like, oh, we should do it in infrared. And
He's like, I got you, fam.
yeah. And then Denis Villeneuve was like making it clear to the producers and everything, like, if we do this in black and white, like the way we're doing it, we can't put it back into color. It's gonna be black and white.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I'm glad that they didn't say no, because it's my favorite scene in the movie.
It was so trippy. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Keep talking about it.
Yeah. But the reason it's black and white is because the sunlight is apparently monochromatic. But I don't know how that works. It's not in the book or anything, but it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And like the director talks about how like one of the themes in the books is like how your environment shapes you. Mm-hmm. And once you see the environment of the Harkonnens, you can understand like why they are the way they are.
Yeah.
Why they are so heartless and such hateful and spiteful people. Mm-hmm. It's because they don't have any vitamin D in their life.
No, they've got no sunlight.
It's because the sun takes from them.
So crazy.
Yeah. But they have a gladiator. Brailee, help me.
I can't. A gladiator pit?
Yeah, a
gladiatorial?
Gladiatorial battle.
Gladiatorial.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You can edit that out.
Yeah. Fade Rotha is the Baron's nephew.
Okay, so is it Fade or Fade? TH?
Fade.
Or F?
Feyd.
Okay.
Fade.
Okay.
Yep. Fade Rotha. Fade Rotha Harkonnen. Yeah. He's a bald little weirdo.
With no eyebrows.
Yeah, no eyebrows.
Where did they go?
And he's fighting 3 Atreides prisoners of war. Mm-hmm. But 2 of them are drugged.
Yeah, I think prisoners of war is a real... I don't know. That's a much more humane term than what those guys definitely were.
They're just prisoners.
Yeah, though I'm sure real prisoners of war would also disagree with my use of the word humane just now, so apologies. I mean, no disrespect to anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure you aren't treated very humanely when you're captured by the enemy.
My bad. I was just speaking out of my buttocks, so.
Yeah. I was just meaning in like that they were taken in war.
In the ambush.
Yeah. Technically it wasn't a war because they want to keep this whole thing hush hush.
Mm-hmm. It was an ambush.
Yeah.
That much I do remember from the first movie.
Yeah. But the Atreides all drugged except for 2 of them. No, all drugged except for 1 of them. Mm-hmm. And he quickly kills the 2 of them that are drugged. And then has an epic showdown with the last one. And like...
But also kills him.
What? Oh yeah,
but also kills him.
Yeah. And the Atreides are like some of the best fighters in the galaxy.
Okay.
Like
some of the lore.
Yeah, like they're formidable opponents.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's another reason why the Emperor was kind of afraid of them.
Gotcha.
It's because they're so buff and hot.
I was about to say they're chiseled good looks and they're
yeah.
They're fighting. That's true. They did have Duncan, Idaho, in the last movie.
Yep, a lot of hot people on the Atreides side. And Austin Butler's hot, but not in this movie.
Not in this movie at all. So disturbing.
But yeah, the Atreides are probably like the second best fighters in the Imperium, behind the Emperor's Sardaukar.
Okay.
Fade Rotha beats the Atreides boy, and then complains to his uncle like, "You tried to kill me." Except he does it in a low, gravelly voice. And then the Baron's like, "Actually, you looked pretty badass doing that. You're welcome." And then he's like, "You want to manage Arrakis, son?" And Fade Rotha's like, "Yeah, I do."
He's like, "Actually, nothing in this world would bring me more joy than going and beating up my brother."
Yeah. Yeah, showing him what's up.
Uh-huh.
He literally does like beat him up and it's like you brought shame to our family, brother.
Mhm. But not before he got seduced by what is the name of them? The Bene
Bene Gesserit,
Gesserit?
the space witches.
They're weird.
Word. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to be clear, the Emperor's daughter is also a Bene Gesserit, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Florence Pugh?
Yeah, Florence Pugh is a Bene Gesserit as well.
Okay.
Yeah. The Bene Gesserit basically controlled the Imperium behind the curtain.
Yep. Christopher Walken in a robe stands no chance.
Nope. Do you know why the Bene Gesserit seduce Phaedratha?
To secure the bloodline?
Basically, just like the Bene Gesserit are trying to create the Quetzalcoatl Haderach, which is what Paul is.
That literally just sounded like knick-knack paddywhack.
No,
What was?
The Quetzalcoatl Haderach is basically the it's the superhuman they're trying to produce.
Right.
Which is Paul.
Okay. Because Ty was talking to me about this. Because the Bene Gesserit have I'm also not pronouncing that correctly, and I don't really care. I don't know. I don't know how to go from here. So, apologies. Yeah. But they have the ability to control the gender of the child that they're pregnant with, right? And Jessica did all the things she was supposed to do for Paul to be a girl, and Paul do not be a girl, right? Isn't that what happened?
No.
Oh.
But
well, then Ty lied to me.
Jessica bore a son intentionally.
Okay.
Because Leto wanted a son, and she actually loved Leto and wanted to do something for him. You know, she wasn't just manipulating him.
But the Bene Gesserit wanted her to have a girl. Oh.
Because the Bene Gesserit wanted the Quetzalcoatl Haderach to appear one generation down from Paul.
Okay.
So Paul would have been bred, possibly with even Phaedratha, and then the child would have been in theory their Quetzalcoatl Haderach.
Okay. If Paul had been the girl that they wanted him to be.
Yeah.
But Jessica loved Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, she loved Oscar Isaac.
And who doesn't? But okay.
Yeah. Who could state your space witch principles in front of Oscar Isaac?
In front of that beard, though.
Oh, many would cave.
Okay, I probably just misunderstood Ty then.
Yeah, he also could have misunderstood. In the movie, it's like barely explained, and in the book, it's easy to miss anything in the book.
He did. I think he's like halfway through the first book. He really wanted to finish it before we saw Dune 2, but he wanted to see Dune 2 in theaters more than he wanted to finish the book first. So
yeah,
we saw Dune 2.
It's a long book.
I don't know. How far did we get? Oh, Freaky Boy is on Arrakis now. Yeah, which...
He's making moves.
Yeah, does Paul ride a sandworm already?
Yeah, Paul rides a sandworm before.
It's a really cool scene.
Yeah, really cool scene.
And the music that they chose. Beautiful. That was chef's kiss.
It's so good. Yep. One of the best scenes in the movie.
The
Paul rides a sandworm.
The knee. As soon as I saw the knee, I was like, do it! Stand up!
Yeah. And then after he rides a sandworm, he gets like his Fremen name.
Yes.
Which he chooses.
The mouse.
Yep. Muad'Dib.
Muad'Dib.
Yep. The little desert mouse.
Okay. I do have some logistic questions about the sandworm, though.
And then Usul is his last name,
Yes.
which means a strong pillar.
Mm-hmm. But back to logistics about the sandworm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I understand how a singular person is getting on this sandworm. I mean, I watched it happen. How are they getting whole groups of people and, like, Jessica in a basket? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, so
like,
here's
no
my
way.
theory. I have a theory.
Okay.
Is that one person goes and wrangles the sandworm.
Okay.
Okay, no, but this doesn't even make sense still. I'm just going to give you my theory that still doesn't make sense. And then everyone else in the rest of the group is, like, off in the distance, huddled. And then the other person drives the sandworm over to them. And then, but my thought was maybe makes it dive down deep enough that then it kind of like goes under the group and then brings them back up so that now they're on the back. But that doesn't make sense because you never see the sandworm like dive.
Yeah.
Under when somebody, and you know they're not bringing that whole thing to a stop. And so then that brings up my second question. How do they get off? I have so many questions.
Well, how they get off is a good question. One which there's not a great answer.
What about how do they all get on?
I would think maybe like if one person gets on, controls the sandworm, then everybody is on like on top of a dune.
Mm-hmm.
Like how Paul is when he rides the worm.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of ride the worm parallel to the dune.
And then people are just jumping on to this worm
Yeah.
at 130 miles an hour with a basket that carries Jessica in it.
Yeah. Also, like, Paul's worm was also, like, giant.
It's true. They said that is the biggest worm I've ever seen in my entire life.
The grandfather worm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So yeah, that boy was a beefer. So maybe the little ones are more manageable, but still, it would be
maybe you can pull that one to a full stop.
It'd still be an extremely dangerous process to get someone in a basket on a worm. Wouldn't you rather know more about the diet of the sandworm than how to get off that thing?
I just assimilate sand.
That's what Frank Herbert probably said.
Do you learn in depth about what the worms eat in the book?
Yeah, they eat sand plankton, microscopic organisms. That's mostly what they feed on.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're like whales.
Love learning what fictional animals eat, and also how to ride those fictional animals.
The spice is also a product of their digestion and
excrement.
Excrement, yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's why they can't kill the worms, which is a key part of the book. They're just like, why can't we just kill these things? And yeah, that's why.
They don't really talk about that in the movie, do they?
No, they don't.
You're just like, why don't they kill these worms? And the answer is, I don't know.
Answer is they get lonely on Arrakis.
Just need some excitement every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is watching there have been some like Instagram meme videos, and it's like me calling my sandworm, and it's somebody pounding on the ground, and then they pan up, and it's like they're like 9-month-old baby crawling towards them.
Have you seen the one with like the cat under the covers, like worming its way to the hand?
No.
That one's funny.
That is funny.
The worm's got a lot of names though. Shai Halud, Maker, Old Man of the Desert,
Big Granddaddy,
Big Papa. Then Phaedra attacks one of the Fremen Sieches.
Like the one that we've been hanging out at this whole time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
kills a lot of people.
Yeah,
it was upsetting.
Yeah, it's a real bummer. And then they're like, oh, we gotta go south to stay safe. And then Paul's like, no, I don't want to go south.
I'll kill 1 billion people if we go south.
Yeah, because Paul sees the future quite often, since he's always on that Zaza. And he gets premonitions that if he goes south, then he'll start the Holy War.
Which and literally kill not. 1 billion people.
Yeah, literally kill
billions. I wasn't exaggerating.
Yeah. And destroyed thousands of religions. But that's cool.
Because then he drinks the blue juice, and then he's fine with it.
Yeah. Yeah, so once he gets down to the south, because eventually he gives in, and then he drinks the water of life, and becomes the Quitsack Hatterack. He's able to see the future and the past with such an exactness now.
I also am just going to call it the Knick-Knack Paddywhack from now
on. Okay. But when he returns to the southern Fremen Siege after becoming the Lisanal Gaib,
the Knick-Knack Paddywhack.
Yeah. The song that plays is so good. Do you remember it at all? It's like this super dark thing, and like boom, boom.
Do we have the soundtrack out yet?
Look up The Arrival on YouTube. The Arrival, Dune Part 2.
By Hans Zimmer? Oh, of course. My boy Hans.
Yeah. And this is one of the best soundtracks Han has done in a few years. Hans.
I do remember this.
Do you remember that main part? The like kind of like a growling? Yeah. That's like solidified in my mind. It's cemented there. And that's actually like a guitar doing that.
It's a guitar?
Uh-huh.
That's impressive.
Yeah. 'Cause I saw this one tweet, and it was like, in the original Dune movie, did you know that Toto does the music?
No.
No. It's honestly a good soundtrack. But they have this one song that has like...
Toto's great.
Yeah, that has like a cool guitar riff and everything. And somebody was like, the new Dune movie could never have a guitar riff this cool. And then someone commented and it was like, mind you, the new Dune movie does have a guitar riff this cool. The music is outstanding. Yeah, I would say.
That's very good. That's like 98% of why the worm ride is as cool as it is because of the music.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the music is used better like in Dune 2 than it is the first movie. Yeah. I think that like Banshee cry, the like the one that everyone memes and everything. I think it was kind of like used too frequently in the first one. Yeah. And too early. But the first time you hear it is during the worm scene. And yeah, it just feels so much more impactful when used sparingly.
So what are we, like halfway through the movie at this point?
No, we're nearing the end. I only want to talk about like 2 more parts.
No, I'm just trying to remember like what else happened. I feel like there was still so much that needs to happen.
When he returns to the southern Fremen Siege, and he's become Jesus. Is
this before he like gives his big speech and everything? Is that the southern Fremen Siege? Is that what you're talking about? To.
Okay. Yeah, he comes back and gives his big speech. And he's like, I'm in charge now. I'm pointing the way. And he's yelling at everybody. And then he singles this one guy out, and he's like, I know how your grandma died.
Then everybody but Chani bows.
Yeah.
Because she's
It's
like,
honestly
what the heck?
super sick. And he's like, back when this world was known by a Fremen name, Dune. And then everyone's Lisna Gaib.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's like, what was the line? He's like, your mother's warned me of my coming. And he's like, fear the moment.
Mm-hmm. It went how I thought it was gonna.
Yeah. The reason he didn't want to come to the South is because, like, Southerners are, like...
They're super devoted religiously.
Yeah. Yeah,
because that's what,
They're borderline zealots even before he gets there.
Mm-hmm. What is the name of the guy who's...
Stilgar.
Say it again?
Stilgar.
Silgar?
Stilgar.
Sil with a TH?
Stil.
Okay, Stilgar.
Gar.
Okay. Yeah. Because it was, Ty and I talked about this, it was a little bit sad to watch it turn from, like, Stilgar being his mentor to then his friend to then, like, a worshiper and a follower. And, like, it was just sad to think about that for, like, Paul. Like, he lost, like, the friendship of it. And by the end of it, most of them weren't his friends. They were just, like, his followers.
Yeah. Yeah. And in, like, throughout the movie, Stilgar is, like, comedic relief.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly.
Yeah,
and at first I was like, I didn't like it that much. I thought that there were too many jokes at times, but when it hits you at the end, like, Stilgar doesn't tell jokes anymore at all. Like, he has become a full devoted religious zealot. And yeah, it's really sad to see.
Yeah. Because it's just, like, all consuming, and Paul's just alone, but also has participated in the blue water and is... I'm not a fan of him anymore.
Yeah. He becomes a real snake.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was interesting.
Then Paul rallies the troops and goes on to the final battle. What?
Literally.
Yeah. He goes up to them and he's like, long live the fighters. Everyone's like, yay.
Final battle was cool.
I love to see those 3 worms kill some Sardaukar.
So impressive. The worms. And then Ty's, like, favorite part of the whole movie is when, you know, the Emperor is in the
Throne room.
The castle or whatever, yeah. And like, the Fremen break in and sand comes in, and then what's the name of the Emperor's guards?
Sardaukar.
The Sardaukar go in, and you don't even hear anything.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything, you don't see anything, but only Fremen walk out.
Yeah.
Ty was like, I want to watch that again and again and again.
That's so cold.
It was so good.
Also, like, the Sardaukar have, like, they have, like, claymores. They have, like, long swords. And, like, everyone fights in this world with, like, a dagger and a short sword. I thought that was cool. But
it's always so interesting to me that, like, because that's, like, isn't Dune supposed to be futuristic? Like, super duper futuristic?
well, it's both primitive and super.
Well, that's the thing. Even any of these, like, super futuristic things you really watch, people are always fighting with swords and daggers.
Yeah.
In them. Like, no matter how future you go, that is somehow still always the weapon of choice.
Yeah. The shields are literally just an excuse for Frank Herbert to write about sword fights. Otherwise, people would just be shooting each other with guns.
It's true. It is a really interesting concept, though, about the shields. It's really cool. But yeah, it was interesting.
And, like, there are no computers in Dune, because
Oh, only people with computer minds?
Yeah, they have
Okay.
they have mentats instead of computers.
Which was not in this movie at all.
It was.
Right?
Well, in part 2, no, I don't think there was
In
any
part 1,
mentats.
yes.
Yeah, there's 2 mentats in part 1.
Yeah. And isn't Paul kind of also trained as a mentat?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Ty was telling me about that too.
He's got the best of both worlds. He's like mentat and Bene Gesserit. And yeah. That's why he's so cold and calculating.
And powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, as someone who's read the book, at the end, when he takes over from the Emperor and everything, and, like, says he wants to marry the Emperor's daughter, how does that play out in the book? Does it?
Yeah. He marries the Emperor's daughter.
Before or after he has a kid with Chani?
After he has a kid with Chani.
But after the kid's already dead?
Yeah. Yeah, I think during the final battle, a few Sardaukar have, like, gone over to the Fremen siege, and they, like, kill Paul's kid and servant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's kind of bummed.
But then is also just like, now I got another lady.
Yeah. Well, he wants to in this movie, like, Chani, like, completely leaves Paul.
Mm-hmm.
But in the book, Chani stays with Paul.
Mm-hmm.
But Paul does still love her and doesn't give a crap about Azrula. I forget what the princess's name is. He doesn't give a crap about the princess. He's only marrying her for political power.
Right. Yeah. You know.
But yeah.
Still not cool, bro.
Yeah, he's still a scumbag. But what'd you think about the ending?
I mean, it felt like another, like, where's the next part? Because there's still so much. Because the other houses were like, nah, son, you are not the emperor. So now he's got to go fight all these houses. So there's still so much to happen. I just felt like it was another little cliffhanger.
Yeah. I feel like I'd be satisfied with this ending, though.
But what happens? Are you satisfied with this ending because you've read the books and you know what happens?
Well, like, even if the story, like, completely ended here, like, there was no books or anything, I'd still be fine with it. Because, like,
no.
Based on, like, Paul's visions, you know that he's gonna take over the universe.
That's true. We don't have to watch the billions of people die. We just know it happens.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the next movie is gonna start with Paul being emperor.
Like, it's already gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what book would that put us in?
That put us in the second book, Dune Messiah.
So, is this the way that the first book ends, too?
The main differences are that Chani stays with Paul, and the houses do honor his ascendancy.
Oh.
Well,
I mean, that changes the whole thing.
They do say, like, okay, you could be emperor, but the Fremen still need to go on their religious tirade across the galaxy, put down any other religions, and put down any other people trying to resist.
Oh, ew. So they're going on crusades?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's why they call it... That's why Jessica says the holy wars have begun.
Ugh. Gross.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm good then. I don't need any other books or stories or movies.
The third movie, it's gonna be depressing.
Yeah, because these first two were so uplifting.
I'm excited.
It is really good though. Like, The filming. The filming, the acting, the special effects, everything. The music was really great. Like, it is definitely a good movie.
Probably the most beautiful movie that'll come out this year.
If you say so. I don't know what's coming out this year, so probably.
Maybe I haven't seen Godzilla v Kong yet. Godzilla X Kong.
That's true.
Maybe
do they
that's
kiss?
Only
That
time
might
to
make
tell.
it the most beautiful movie of 2024 if they do.
The most uplifting movie.
Definitely. All in all, 2 thumbs up,
Yeah.
4 stars, or is it 5 stars?
Yeah. If you're grading out of 5, which most
Rating
people
out of 4,
do.
though, it's a 4.
No, I'd give it a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5, baby.
What do you give it, Brailee?
I give it a 4 out of 5. Just because it kind of freaks me out and it didn't make me happy at the end. I rate on an emotional scale.
You should rate on what the movie's, how well the movie's able to elicit your emotions.
No. I rate on how the movie made me feel. But I do give it a 4 out of 5 because it's a very well made movie. But
there's uplifting parts.
that is why we do these reviews together, because you do it from a film side and I do it from a I watched this movie side. What is this, our 3rd movie review?
Yep.
Did we ever publish the other one though? I think we've only published 1, right?
No, we published 2. We published
We
The
published
Courier and 50 Days Around the World.
80?
80.
80 days.
I can't.
Around the world in 80 days.
I got that title wrong so many times.
So many times.
There's so many ways you could phrase it, though. 80 days around the world in 80 days. A trip in 80 days. World trip. World star.
80 days around the world, though, makes it seem like you just spent 80 days traveling the world. Not that you really went around the whole world in 80 days.
Yeah, that's fair.
Did you ever watch the PBS version of Around the World in 80 Days? Did we talk about this?
Yeah, we did. I did not.
It was good.
Okay.
Had a good time.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Or listening.
Oh, good. I was like, we're not posting video.